Hey guys, I'm going to do some watercolor techniques today. This one I'm going to do is using crayon resist. So I've got white crayons in my little picture here. You can see I already drew and I outlined in the permanent non-water soluble ink. Some of it I didn't outline, so you don't actually have to do everything. It's up to you. So what I'm going to do is take my crayon. You can see this one isn't really dirty. This one is. If you're worried about the dirt stuff getting on your picture, because that can happen, just take a scrap paper and rub it and get all the dirty crayon off the edge. This one, somebody's already scratched off the dirt, so I will use that. So I'm going to put white crayon in places where I don't want the paint to stick. That's what a resist means. It resists the paint because it's wax. And so right now you actually can't see it. It's going to be fun when we start painting. You'll see how it turned out. You want to make sure you're pushing pretty hard. You can tell this is watercolor paper because of the tooth. See the texture there? That's called tooth, and that's made so that it'll suck up the paint in the water. If you have just regular old paper, it'll warp when you try to paint on it. Okay, let's see how this turned out. So I've got watercolor here, just using a cup of water and getting the color I want wet. I'm going to do some green first, which you might think is weird, but when you're doing colors, if you start with like kind of an opposite color shadow, it'll end up looking more realistic later. I'm kind of doing a green shadow here. If you get too much paint, watercolor, you can just dab it off with paper towel. If I can start seeing the texture like that, it means I need more water. Just spread it into the gaps. Oh, there's some of my crayon. It's not sticking there. Okay, so we can see these spots that are white right here, there, there. Those are the ones where we put the crayon. So the paint would not stick to those points. So if you have things where you want to stay white in watercolor painting, a simple resist like a white crayon will work. But of course there's more professional resists where it's kind of like a rubber cement sort of stuff you put on and then you rub it back off when you're done. Anyway, but that's how it works. Okay guys, bye.